Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Angelia, how you been?
Girl, I've been good. What about you?
Girl, everything's been going good. What's new with you?
Honey, out here trying to be my own boss and I'm making these money moves.
You know, I've been trying to stay fit and work on my health and my wellness.
All right now. What about the issues us women are facing today and the struggle with these relationships? Oh my gosh.
Girl, that's just too heavy. Let's go hit up the hot spots and happenings.
Girl,
Let's talk.
Today's hostess, Wanda McKinley. Come on out. That's for a fabulous lady.
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Welcome to Let's Talk with Angelia and Nicole. Thank you so much, Wanda, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invitation.
Today we're going to talk about from pain to healing and to success. So tell us, who is Wanda McKinley and where did it all start?
Who am I? I sometimes ask that question every day. Wanda McKinley is the founder of a nonprofit organization called We Are Survivors.
Okay.
We Are Survivors is an international nonprofit that focuses on abused men, women, and children. It was formed due to my story. And I am a survivor of domestic violence. I went through over 24 consecutive years of abuse.
24?
24, yes. Wow. So I don't look like what I've been through.
You sure don't, because you look fabulous. You're fabulous in the word.
Yes.
You do
you hold
too.
it up
Thank
good.
you.
24 years, yes.
24 years.
That's a lot.
Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in. What was so long? What took you so long? Kind of give us a little overview of what happened in those 24 years.
Wow, okay, that's going to be a slight overview too for 24 years.
Yeah.
So take us back to when you were a child, as life of a child, when you were a child, what happened?
Well, to the outside world, I had a beautiful childhood. My mother stayed at home. She was a stay-at-home mom. My father was in the military, so we had the best of the best. We went to Catholic private schools. Never had a hiccup in finances. Never, we traveled, we did what we wanted to do. In saying that, realizing that my father was the controller of everything, and that's the reason why my mom didn't work, because he felt women should be at home cooking and cleaning, and he is still currently that way. But my mother actually walked in on my father at the age of 7, so I know that that wasn't the first incident, that was just the incident he got caught.
You say walked in on your father?
On top of me, yes.
Oh, wow. On top of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this was your father?
My biological father.
Okay.
Yes.
At the age of 7?
At the age of 7.
Okay.
But I do know that that was not his first time. That was just the time he got caught. So that's why I say over 24 years, because I don't know the exact age yet.
Okay.
I'm praying that that age is revealed. So from the age of 7 to 12, I was molested by my biological father. My mother and father finally got their third divorce, and I did say third. Yes.
She kept trying.
She did. That was the only man she knew. They met when she was 14 and he was 18.
Even though he did all that, she kept going back to him.
She was a stay-at-home mom.
She needed him.
So she didn't know a way out.
She needed him.
Yes. Not to mention, I found out through this journey that my father was abusing my mother, which I didn't. I had no clue whatsoever. Learned that my father pushed my mother down the stairs when she was 8 months pregnant with my brother. Wow. So I'm learning a whole lot.
Right.
Coming out talking about our story.
Your story.
But at the age of 13, my mom marries well, let me say this. She met another man that was 10 years younger than her, and they discussed marriage probably 6 months into the relationship. And he told my mother before they got married that he didn't want to marry her, he wanted to marry me.
No.
You stopped.
I was 13 and he was 25.
He wanted to marry you, not your mother.
He told her that.
He told her that.
And what did she say?
We were all sitting together watching TV. She didn't say a word. She kept watching TV.
Like she didn't hear it.
And she married him.
No.
And so at 13, he raped me and took my virginity. And even though a lot of people don't understand what victims, domestic violence is our way of life. So we don't really, some of us realize it's wrong, but that's what we know. And even though my dad molested me, I still went home. We're from San Antonio. I still went home every year for my birthday. And for my 13th birthday, when I went home, my dad told me that he wanted to be my first. not knowing that my stepfather had already raped me.
Oh my
So at the age of 13, my biological father raped me. So from the age of 13 to 18, my stepfather and my biological father raped me.
So let me ask you, so when your stepfather raped you, and then your dad said you wanted to be the first, was there no escape route for you before that happened, or was it something you just thrown into and had to deal with?
As far as my father? Well, for me, because I was accustomed to my dad molesting me, it wasn't like it was
out of the norm.
Right, and I really didn't realize it was not the norm until I was probably about 16 years old, when I was like, hey, I want to start talking and dating guys my own age, not you know, these grown men. So for me, it was just, okay, I'm just going to lay here for however long this is going to take. And I always knew that I would get whatever I wanted. I tell young ladies when I speak at schools, the video vixens and the shopping sprees, that was me. But I thought it was just because I was the prettiest girl, not realizing I was paying with my body. So when people say no to me, they really don't understand. I really don't understand what that word means. Like, what do you mean no? Like, I didn't hear that growing up.
You hadn't had no before.
I didn't know.
So how did it make you act out with these acts taking place to you?
I didn't.
You didn't act out at all?
I didn't act out. I'm a straight A student. Even right now in college, my GPA is a 3.8. I graduated in September.
Yes, that's a success story right
there.
So
I didn't act out because once again, that was normal for me. I didn't know to act out or scream for help or do any of that.
So when you started dating someone your own age, was it easy to go into that relationship, or did you still have baggage you were carrying? Did you carry it secretly that you were molested into the relationship? No, because the mind is a powerful thing. I'm also a hypnosis and a hypnotist. And the reason why I choose, well, I didn't really choose, it was something, that's a whole other story. But your mind is so powerful. And for me, I suppressed so much of my childhood that I was very promiscuous, don't get me wrong, but that to me wasn't because of my past. I didn't know that I was fast because of my past. So the guy that I started dating, who was my ex-husband, initially it was just about sex. Because you know, he's tall and I wanted to see what they say about tall men. It was true. And it was. Okay, I was gonna say, girl, was it true?
Yes, it was. I have a 25-year-old daughter and we was married.
You found out the real deal on that one, huh? Something better came along.
You know, and speaking of, I was gonna ask you, when you did start dating, did you find yourself dating the same type of man or no? Here's
the thing, you don't know. You don't know if it's the same type of men. Not to mention, you're talking about men, I don't want to say boys, but I was younger. You're talking about grown men versus boys.
Yes.
Two different categories.
Okay.
But with my ex-husband, he was very manipulative and abusive. And what I tell young ladies is when you start dating men, make sure you meet their parents, make sure you meet their friends, make sure you get an understanding of this person's character before you lay down, sleep with him, get pregnant, because once you get pregnant, you're stuck.
You're stuck with him.
You're stuck, and not knowing that he came from an abusive home. And my ex-husband, he raped me, he tried to set me on fire, he busted my eardrum.
Oh my God.
STDs. I went through a whole lot with him from the age of 19 to 31.
So let me ask you this, not that there's any reason that's good enough, what would you see were triggers that made him act out this way towards you in the domestic way? It's not acceptable regardless, but did you see anything that may have, you know, hey, provoked this, or, you know, because I think that's the mental issues, how I see that. Was there anything that provoked? And again, it's not acceptable at all. I'm just curious.
His upbringing, period.
The way he was raised.
The way he was raised. The men in his family always taught him man's going to be a man. So the women accepted, not to say all Louisiana men are brought up that way, but he's an old country guy. And I'm not to air out this family's business, but it was just the way he was raised.
Yeah.
And see, I know for me being domestic abuse, you know, it was one of them things that I couldn't handle it. And no one wanted to help. You can cry for help. I was kidnapped, beaten, broken. I mean, everything. They couldn't break my spirit. But the signs for me was he started being controlling. He started being obsessive. He said if he couldn't help me, nobody can. He was clocking what time I made it home from work. Did you experience any of those signs?
I'm going to say I didn't have any of that.
And I was married when it happened.
What I had was the other females, the staying out late, the abusive, the physical interaction didn't occur till after we said I do.
Yes.
And then that's when periodically the slap across the face, and I don't know what I said or what I did, and it would be something that occurred 4 or 5 hours before.
Are you serious? Because
the night he busted my eardrum, we were at his family's house, and I guess I said something while we were there that he didn't like. So when we made it home and I was getting our child out of the car seat, he hit me so hard, he hit me into the wall of the house, and he just walked in. Wow. Me being me, I just got up, got our child, and went in the house like nothing happened.
Like nothing happened.
Wow.
I was going to ask you, have you ever fought back?
No.
You ever fought back?
Yeah.
Well, I fought back once, girl. Let me tell you what I did. I had enough. So they said enough is enough. I had enough because they always say the woman changes when we get married. Well, my first husband changed when we got married. And so he started coming home with his, on payday, every payday, his money started coming missing. Oh, I had a hole in my pants.
Oh.
Then next time he come home drunk, he had rubbers in his pocket. I was like, oh no, this is too much. So one night he came home and I was furious because he's tripping with me, but he was doing everything he said I was doing.
Yes.
So he was so drunk and I found them rubbers and I couldn't take it. I put them heels on. I went to stomping him. The next morning he woke up, but every time I would kick him, I'd jump back. Like, please don't wake up, please don't wake up. Because I was tired of going through the situation, being dogged, you know. Yeah. And it wasn't until after we left, I left him rather, that he abused me. Because that's when he said, if I can't have you, nobody can.
Wow.
So what made you say enough was enough and made you leave your husband? Because I knew what mine was.
My daughter is my why. Because I knew I had to break the cycle.
Yeah.
You have my mom, you have me, and my daughter, I didn't want her to grow up thinking that that's okay, that this is the way men treat women. Your husband's supposed to come home from work, you sit down, eat dinner together, watch TV. I didn't want her to be like, oh, okay, this is my
normal life.
You know, I didn't want that for her. So I left for her. And it took her a while to understand, actually about 4 years ago, but I was able to kind of really break it down to her, because when I came out telling my story, I had to, of course, sit her down and explain some things. Yeah. She's my why, because I didn't want her to wind up with a man like her father.
So what made you tell
that
the
aspect.
story?
Yeah.
Woo, God. Pointblank.com, no other God. Because, you know, we're from the old school, but go on behind closed doors, stay behind closed doors. Even though my father did what he did, I forgave my father. And I forgave my stepfather until he reached out to me a couple of weeks ago. That's another story.
Wait.
We're going to pray on that.
I want to know how long it took for you to forgive your
immediately.
father. Wow.
I say my story is so different because, you know, God has a reason. Our lives are designed before we even conceive.
Yeah.
And for me, I didn't hold any anger. I wasn't mad. I am a daddy's girl.
Absolutely.
And me and my dad were still close up until I started talking out. My dad still lives in San Antonio. He drove one Sunday to show you how close we are. He's like, what you doing? It's Sunday morning. I'm like, I'm getting ready for church. What do you mean? He said, I'm going to go to church with you. I said, Dad, I don't have time away from you in San Antonio. He says, no, open your door. It was 10:15 in the morning. Wow. My father had gotten dressed, drove from San Antonio, came to my house. We went to church together. He ate and drove back to San Antonio. That's the relationship. So I forgave my father a long time ago.
Let me ask you, because that's powerful. So forgiving him, when you around him or in his presence, do you ever feel a different way? Because he's really trying to love you genuinely now, hopefully.
Yes.
And so you guys have created that bond to where y'all love each other genuinely. But you don't feel different?
I don't.
So you truly forgave him?
I did.
That's that agape love we all need to have.
And how can you inspire others that have gone through the same thing to do that? Because I've heard so many stories, and a lot of the ladies, they have a lot of resentment. They won't talk to this. They're just done, especially if it happened at a younger age. And once they've gotten older, they realize that it was wrong. How can we help them to, hey, let's forgive?
Here's the
I think
thing.
that's a big thing.
When you hold on to that, they're still controlling you.
That's it. That's what I tell people.
They're still abusing you. They still manipulating you. They still have a hold on you. They've gone on with their lives.
Yes.
A lot of times they're probably not even thinking about what they did, because a lot of times they don't believe what
remember.
they did was wrong.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't even remember.
They don't remember.
Depending on the situation and what mindset they were in.
Yeah.
So you're carrying something that is tearing you up inside. You're carrying something it's affecting your everyday life.
Right.
It's not affecting the abuser's life.
Yes.
It's not. So for me, I had to let go and let God, literally, because if you don't, you're going to walk around here angry. You're going to start aging. You're going to take it out on your kids. You're going to wonder why you can't keep a man, why your jobs are changing so much, because it's what you are holding.
Yeah.
And if you don't deal with it, it will eat you up inside.
So you say you can't keep a man when you go through this, which is true, because if you don't heal yourself and get the help we need, we're stuck in that pattern.
We are.
Do you have a man now, girl? Do you have a man
You know
now?
what? That's something I don't. There's some things I'm gonna keep to myself.
All right,
Okay, okay.
Some things I'm gonna keep to myself.
okay. I see you.
So this situation, how did you make this a blessing for others?
God told me to. God one day said, now here's the thing. When I tell people a lot of times I didn't feel all of the hurt and anger at the time it was going on. He protected me from that. About 5 years ago, I was watching Joyce Meyers. I record her because I love her. And after I watched her, I was getting up to take my shower, and all of the hurt and pain that God protected me from, he allowed me to feel it all at once. And when I say I broke down in the ugly cry, and that evening is when God said, this is your purpose in life. You are to share your testimony, share your story, so that other women can see, hey, you don't have to be stuck here. Yes, we went through that. Yes, that happened to me. But if you believe and have faith in God, this is how you'll come out.
Absolutely.
So that's it.
So tell us more about your current efforts to help others. What are you doing right now?
Oh, right now we're planning to go to Africa. So I didn't realize we have an International Women's Conference. And 2016 it was in Finland. Last year it was here. So this year it's in Lagos. And I didn't realize all the red tape that we have to go through to get to Africa. So, but it's well worth it. We have that going on. We have a radio talk show that we have. We just got offered our own television show that we're excited about.
Good things.
It's a lot going on.
And you have Survivors Avenue. Tell us about that.
We do. Survivors Avenue is actually every second and fourth Wednesday, and it's at 3010 Morgan's Drive. And Survivors Avenue is a support group, and women. We have women. It's off 20 in Lancaster Avenue, so it's the southern sector. But we have women that actually drive from Plano to come, and I'm gonna really laugh, but it's supposed to be from 6:30 to 7:30. We be in there, be 9:30. We be oh my goodness, and we laugh, we talk, we cry, we hold each other. We now have every so often girls' night out where we just kind of get out of that scene and do something different to laugh. We talk about everything.
Life, everything.
And if they feel like cursing, you can curse. We talk about.
That's a true waiting to exhale moment. Releasing.
Being free.
Something missing is that glass of wine.
So tell us, how can look at our audience, because we want them to know, because they're really paying attention to us, but how can they actually find you and stay in touch?
Well, the website is wearesurvivorsfoundation.org. Again, that's www.wearesurvivors.org. The phone number to We Are Survivors is 214-454-2933. Also, you can email us at wearesurvivorsfoundation@gmail.com. So it's really easy. Just remember, We Are Survivors Foundation. You'll find us.
We Are Survivors Foundation. Thank you so much, Wanda.
Thank you so much, Wanda, for just sharing your story with us and with our viewers. And to our viewers, you can always find us at letstalkan.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Let's Talk AN. Thanks for watching with us.
Open floor plan, beautiful, great location. This is just what you wanted, girl.
Isn't that what you want too?
Yeah, but I don't have the best credit score.
Well, honey, neither did I.
True.
But I was still able to buy the house of my dreams.
Knowing how picky you are, you need to build like I did.
I got just the person you need to talk to.
No, call my realtor. She gives referrals.
So does mine.
Really?
Yes, really.
Tired of renting? Wanting to build? Looking for the right location? Credit problems? Call Angelia Dunbar Realty.